Shalom, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Makakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and shalom to the Archeum, teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS England, London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to help edify the Lord's elect, particularly the 144,000 elect men in the nation of Israel. I always like to begin by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, West Africans predominantly. But you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we as a people have been scattered among all the nations to our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like, because Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 tells you that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I was watching this little interview with Sylvester Stallone. Many of you probably familiar with the actor. Sylvester Stallone is very famous, most notably for the Rambo films and the Rocky films, which are some of my favorite film series. But I saw a video because it popped up on my newsfeed, so I thought I'd watch it. And I thought there was an interesting talking point in this interview, because what you can see on the screen right here is you've got Sylvester Stallone on the left, which I believe is a Jake. There's no doubt in my mind that Sylvester Stallone's an Israelite. But, he's a celebrity in the world. So, he's doing worldly shit. But he's very talented nonetheless. But, and there you've got next to him, going from left to right, you've got Sylvester Stallone, his wife, and his 3 daughters there. Now, this is a very interesting thing, because I was watching this interview, and obviously the typical question comes up about, when a father has a care over his daughters, this world tends to have a problem with it. When in reality, there's nothing wrong with a father keeping a watchful eye over his daughters. In fact, the scriptures commands us to do that. That's what the role of a father in a child's life really is, to provide a level of security and stability in the child's life, so that the child grows up within some kind of order, because that's what men bring to the table. They bring order, they bring discipline, they bring structure. Women, on the other hand, they bring chaos, confusion, uncertainty, which is why Esau's done such a job to destroy. That's why Esau's done such a job to destroy the Israelite family households, by taking the man out of the equation. Now, the interviewer here is going to ask a question, and it really fucking pissed me off, because, as I said, what Sylvester Stallone's doing with his daughters is actually on point. Trying to keep them ordered and trying to teach them self-defense and stuff like that, because, as you can see, the 3 girls on the right, they're all Sylvester Stallone's daughters now. They're obviously women now, and they're quite attractive young women. So, you're going to get guys coming up and trying to take advantage of that in this society, because we live in a society which is a sinful and adulterous generation, and we've got to be wise to that, man. Let me get a preset before I continue on. Bear me a second. Surah 25, starting at verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Now, the point I want to make is a man that hath joy of his children. When you've got daughters, it's a joy to you when they're in order, because that's what a woman is supposed to be. And it's also a joy to you when you're able to marry her. And what we're supposed to do is marry our daughters to men of understanding, as in reputable men that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, who are Israelites. Not just to give your daughter away to any Tom, Dick and Harry, for her to then be abused and then end up fucking, as Elder Malcolm refers to it, ends up riding the cock carousel for the rest of her life, never being loyal to any one man, and having a string of children that have multiple fathers. We don't want that, man. That's confusion. So there's a few more in here. Let me get it. I'm just looking for precept here. Yeah. This is Surah 26 and verse 8. It says, a drunken woman and a gadder abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her in shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself with overmuch liberty. So read that again. This is what we're supposed to do. Surah 26 and verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, meaning keep her in a position where she knows her place. As the father, you're supposed to establish that, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Because liberty wasn't made for women. Liberty is what destroys women. Now I'm going to play this clip because it pissed me off, because Sly Stallone, he's doing the right thing by keeping his daughters in straitly, but this news presenter, obviously coming from the fucking Babylonian feminist woman mindset, she's like, oh well, why are you trying to control their lives, and why are you being overprotective and all this kind of shit, which is bullshit. He's not being overprotective. He's actually exercising his duty as a father. Let's play this.
At first, when the cameras were following me on campus, I was very overwhelmed. But then you get used to it. That's why season 2 is so good, because we finally got used to being in front of the camera. Now we can really show our personality.
Yeah. Well, now I know the two of you were out and about. You're dating a little bit.
Yes.
It seems like your dad, and stop me if you disagree, and please don't punch me, Rocky, but he seems like kind of a stage 5 clinger as a dad.
Yes.
He seems like a stage 5 clinger. I mean, what the fuck, man? If that were me, I would have got up and walked off the interview and taken my family with me, man. Because you don't have any right to come in and disrespect me as well. I'm just putting myself in that position. You don't have any right to open your damn mouth and disrespect me as a father when I'm doing my best to keep my daughters in straitly. Fuck this place, man.
Protective, would you agree?
Oh yeah, a little. He's
like
the most
overprotective,
overbearing guy. Yeah. If he had it his
He's the most overprotective, overbearing guy. That's your dad you're talking about, and he's doing the right thing, man.
way, we'd live at home till we were about 55. Single.
Single. You'd be married to God.
No.
Be not
true. Nothing.
Yeah. So does that scare off the guys?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm just going to touch upon what was said there. The middle daughter was saying if he had his way, we'd be living at home until we were 55 and single. And someone said you'd be married to God, and they made a joke about that. But that's really what a woman is supposed to be, man. She's first of all, she's the property of her father, which is why when girls are born, they have their father's name, and then when they get married, they become the property of the husband. So really, they've got no place in saying anything. It's the father's she's the father's property. And they laughed and they said, "Oh, you'd be married to God." Well, that's what a woman should be, man. A woman should be aware of her maker, and she should be aware of her position in relation to her maker, which is basically for her to be under the authority of her father and then under the authority of her husband. Let's play it.
We've had so many dates where they've brought him up, and within the first 5 seconds, we already know it's a red flag. They've brought scripts to her dates. They've auditioned. The problem is when we do muster up the courage to bring them home, they never normally come back.
Yeah.
Because he does a whole...
They are one-hit wonders.
Well, that's actually a good thing, man. If they come to the home, if these various guys that want to deal with his daughters come to the home, and they meet the father, and they can't get down with the father's program, well then fuck them, man. But again, in this society, saying that is like a taboo thing. No, you can't control your daughters. We have feminism and we have women's rights and all this kind of shit. Well, what's that got us? What has feminism done for us that's positive as Israelite people? What has giving women liberty, which is feminism in another form, what has giving liberty done for us as a people? It's done nothing but destroy us, man. Now I'm going to get a precept. Is it Mark 3:23? I believe it might be. Let's check it out. Yeah, here we are. This is the one. Mark 3, starting from verse 23, it says, "And he called unto him and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan himself, and he be divided, he cannot stand and have an end." But here's the point. "No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house." So let's put that into today's terminology. Esau knew full well that in order to destroy the Israelite families, he first had to bind the strong man. Now the strong man would be the father figure. So that's why Esau's worked overtime to destroy men's role in the lives of their children, and giving all power unto the mothers, so that then the mother can then turn around and say, "Look, I don't need you anymore. I can do bad all by myself." And she kicks the husband out of the house, and then the children are raised in a household where they've got no father figure, no structure, and therefore Satan can then enter in and spoil his goods, i.e. his goods being his daughters. Because remember, children are a possession, especially daughters, the possession of the father. So in order for Satan to be able to get access to them and destroy them, he first needs to bind a strong man, which was to get rid of the father figures. And this interview is another example of Satan trying to come in up in the midst and undermine the authority of the father in the daughter's lives by making Sylvester Stallone out to be a stage 5 clinger, just because he's got a watchful eye over his daughters. Let's play some more.
One-hit wonder.
What's actually interesting, that could be like a good breakup strategy. Like if you're dating these girls and she brings you home,
Why has this woman even got a fucking opinion on this matter, man? Or that could be a good breakup strategy. Why are you talking about breakup strategies? You do know that women are only supposed to have one husband, right? You're not supposed to be jumping from dick to dick to dick to dick. Oh, I'm going to break up with this guy. Oh, now I'm going to break up with that guy. That's fucking confusion, man. And that's why the woman should not... Let's get this precept, man. Oh, gosh, it's fucking vexing. But this is the world in which we live. Just putting in a precept, bear with me. This is 1 Timothy 2 verse 12. Fucking dickhead woman on the screen there. Here we go. Let's start from 1 Timothy 2 and verse 9. "In like manner also that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works." Here we go. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection." Let me read that again. "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection." See, if this fucking reporter on the screen here would shut up, maybe she'd actually learn something. "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, and then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she should be saved in childbearing if," and that's the important if, "they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety." So going back to this interview here, listen to the way they're talking shit. about Sylvester Stallone's attitude towards his daughters?
Strategy. Like if you're dating these girls and she brings you home, they want to get rid of you.
He's actually good at writing the letters to break up.
I write breakup letters.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
So bad because he's so
Give me an example.
They're not brutal enough. I say, I would rather live in Egypt forever in the sun than spend another.
Not that bad.
He did that to a guy for me in middle school because he kept calling for homework help and he thought the boy was trying to ask me on a date. The guy never called
like in fourth grade.
That
I
was
said,
the fourth grade one.
I'm sorry, she's in Egypt.
This may be related, but I have a clip of you all from this season at self-defense class.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I have a responsibility as a father to do everything I can. And the first thing is we have to learn about a little self-defense, something.
Honestly, my dad is the most...
See, that's a good idea, man. Especially living in Babylon the Great with all these fucking weirdos and, you know, people walking up and down with spirits on them, man. That's not a bad thing to teach your daughters how to defend themselves in a fucking wicked world, man. And they're looking like, oh, he's crazy, he's going over the top. My dad, oh, he's this and he's that. But no, man, that's real love that a father should have towards his daughter. Listen to what he said at the start. It's his responsibility to take the best care of them.
I have a responsibility as a father to do everything I can. And the first thing is we have to learn about a little self-defense, something.
Honestly, my dad is the most paranoid person on the planet.
He is crazy.
Growing up, we had to learn how to fight off a coyote.
He always made them over-prepared. Like, what if someone comes up and gives you a piece of candy? What are you going to do?
God, he's so annoying when he's nervous.
Oh, he's so annoying when he's nervous. Look, man, and teaching your daughters to fight off a coyote, that's damn good parenting, if you ask me, man. Because look, man, how did Jezebel go out? Was she not torn apart by dogs? I believe so. So we're coming into a time when all society is gonna break down, you know, and a lot of these animals in the zoos are gonna be out there wreaking havoc. You know, teeth of wild beasts, stuff like that. I don't think it's a bad idea to teach your daughter how to fight off a fucking coyote, man, or a stray dog or whatever, man. That's practical parenting. Not living in this fucking fantasy fairyland where as if you're in some kind of la la land fantasy where I can just go around and do what I want, man. These girls have got too much of the world in them. But that's why the father needs to be strong and stable to knock the worldliness out of these women, because women are naturally inclined to follow after the ways of the world. That's why these daughters have such a negative opinion about his attitude towards their upbringing.
So you guys we have also learned, have an excellent impersonation of your father.
Oh,
Can somebody just give me a little bit?
I'm the worst at it.
That's about the end of it. But that's the point, you know. A man's supposed to have a care of his daughters. And, you know, in Western society, that's frowned upon. And in reality, that's actually righteous, man. Now, I'm not saying Sylvester Stallone's a righteous guy. We know he's a worldly celebrity. But the fact of the matter is that he's doing one thing right in terms of trying to keep his daughters in straitly. And that's what we should all be doing as Israelite men, because that's our role in the family. That is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to bring stability, structure, and ultimately the fear of God to our families. And, you know, it's a sad thing when society is able to creep up and infiltrate and dictate the way we're supposed to be with our families, when the scriptures really gives us the ultimate guideline. So it's just very vexing to see this fucking stink crotch woman on the left talking her shit as if Sly Stallone's crazy for trying to keep his daughters in straitly and not letting them go out there and abuse themselves with overmuch liberty. So yeah, man, these are the times we're in, and we've just got to be mindful of where we are, because ultimately we're in hell. You know, we're under the captivity of our enemies, so we can't fully exercise our law, statutes, and commandments. But in the small things we can do, in terms of parenting, we should be doing our best to protect our families. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great Muslim that rule well. Shalom to the Akim, teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity, and I'll catch you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom for now.